Hi, I'm Susan Brackley, and I'm back again because we're going through the book of Proverbs together. Yesterday I did an introduction, and today I want to jump right in and be introduced to the author of it. Of course, the Holy Spirit is the author of the Bible, and he inspired Solomon to write the book of Proverbs, and it says so. I want to read that to us. In the first verse, in the first chapter of Proverbs, it says, "The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel." And in chapter 10, verse 1, it also says that the Proverbs of Solomon, and then it goes into that proverb. And then in chapter 25, verse 1, it tells us again that Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs. There were other authors of parts of the Proverbs, but it's Solomon that put them all together. And in chapter 30, verse 1, it says that Agur wrote some of those Proverbs. And in 31, verse 1, Lemuel, or his mother, had written some, and Solomon recorded those ones as well. And then in 22:17, it says they were written by some wise men. But anyway, Solomon's the author of Proverbs. And right in the introduction of the book, it tells right off that it's who specifically it is King David, his son. So David had different wives, and this son, Solomon, was a son from Bathsheba. Okay, when they had gotten married, they lost their first baby. We know that story. But Solomon, it says in 2 Samuel 12:24, I believe, that Solomon was Bathsheba's baby by David. So that's the Solomon we're talking about here. And we also know that he was a king, like his dad, and he succeeded the throne after David died. And Solomon there's a lot written in the Bible about Solomon. He wasn't as good a person as his dad, David. King David was a man after God's own heart, and Solomon wasn't quite there. But Solomon has a lot of things written in the Bible about him so that we can know him a little bit. Not going to get into every detail of everything. Solomon has some good things, and he has some bad things that he's known for. And the book of Proverbs, God used him to spread wisdom. And he is known primarily, I think, because of his wisdom that God gave him. But Solomon had what everyone wants, okay? He had great wealth, he had popularity, he had power, and he had wisdom. Those are things that everybody wants. He was the idol of his age. In fact, he wrote, the Holy Spirit wrote the book of Ecclesiastes and used him for that too, telling of how he used all of those things that he had going for him to see if he could find happiness on this earth. It concludes that the whole conclusion of the matter in Ecclesiastes, he said, is to fear God and to live for him. That's where true happiness comes from. That's where you really get fulfillment. But we're not going there. We're not doing the book of Ecclesiastes, although I wish we were doing that as well, because that's one of my other favorite studies to do. It's a great, great book full of wisdom. So again, Solomon didn't do everything good. All right, he married pagans. He turned to idolatry, part of his life.